Yo, yo, it's Cartoon Johnny, and today we are exploring Freeze, but in a story about mythology that is very true.
Today we're going to take a deep dive into mythology. Have you ever heard of the daughter of Hades? Probably not, but I'm sure you've heard of Hades, the brother of Zeus and ruler of the underworld. Well, Hades' daughter's name is Gelida, or known in Norse mythology as Glacialis. Now, there's no substantial evidence of who this goddess's mother is, but there is one ancient text housed within the Acropolis Museum in Greece that suggests that Zeus's wife, Hera, the queen of the Greek gods, is the mother, which makes this interesting. Zeus is known well to father children outside of the marriage. And because of this, in the text, it indicates that out of revenge and spite towards her husband, Hera went down to the underworld. And we can assume what happened down yonder with Hades. This took place during the 12 labors of Heracles, better known as Hercules. And in short, if you don't know what those are, let's just say Hera concocted a plan with a king, Hercules' cousin, to kill him. And they failed horribly. The goddess, Gelida, is said to rival the beauty of Andromeda. However, she was beyond fair. She was porcelain white, looking drained of all color, reminiscent to the color of the statue of David by Italian artist Michelangelo. For this they called Gelida the beauty of the north because, out of the white vastness of ice, a beautiful figure would appear at the end of your life. However, this beauty became a curse of pain. When Gelida left the underworld to visit a human lover in the northernmost regions of Europe where it's freezing, Poseidon came across the goddess, not knowing she was his brother Hades' daughter either. She was on the icy shores with a sailor. Poseidon approaches Gelida in lust and grabs her. The sailor, not familiar with the gods of the Greek pantheon, hurls a spear at Poseidon's position. Gelida shrieks in anger and fear and swipes at the mighty Poseidon. "It's me, you fool! I am your niece, the daughter of Hades." Poseidon is hella embarrassed, looks at the sailor, and that's where he decides to take his rage out. "How dare you? Do you not know who I am?" Gelida steps in between the rage of Poseidon and the sailor who feared no god, and says, "He's not from the people we rule, Poseidon." But that did not matter to Poseidon, who snatched the young man up and hurled him into the sea and encapsulated the man into a giant glacier, crushing his body with the weight of the massive glacial ice structure. He was essentially trapped in there, but he was obliterated under all that weight. Gelida, in a state of fury, charges Poseidon, who stops her. "You are the daughter of Hades. I forgive you for your transgression." And with the egoistic response typical, he vanishes under the depths of the icy sea. Gelida swims to the glacier and begins to dig at the ice until her immortal flesh even turns raw and bloody. One of the coldest regions on Earth is her lover's grave. So this sailor is believed to be of Germanic descent, a Nordic sailor in the trade business. The Nordic people traded significantly with the Greeks during the end of the Bronze Age, the Mycenaean civilization. Maybe the young sailor was not familiar with the Grecian god of the seas, and also why Gelida is known as Glacialis in
Norse
mythology. However, this does explain the connection and fusing of cultural concepts, such as religions. In the world of the Yester era, children usually took up the trade of their parents. Following the same tradition, Gelida returned heartbroken to her father. She agreed to help care for the transitioning souls, but only in the frozen realms of the earth. Specifically, she chose to go north in the region where her uncle, Poseidon, murdered her lover. Instead of her heart going cold, Gelida helped ease men, women, and children in pain, lost in the cold or near death. She was compassionate. She had an affinity towards sailors and would help steer them clear of glacial ice, such as icebergs. She had a gentle touch, that would ease the person and their flesh into a soft, everlasting state of sleep, where she would then carry the souls to the underworld. Poseidon, 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 who seldom felt ashamed for his misogynistic actions, felt saddened. He saw the devotion to her duty and her father's work of dealing with souls. She was in love with the people, and always wandered the land of her lover's resting place. He saw this and began to melt the glaciers. He planned to bring the sailor back to life as a token for Gelida to forgive him. Poseidon is no god of fire, heat, nor sun. His powers were limited in melting ice. Too ashamed to ask any of the other gods or goddesses for help in the matter, he employed men to help speed up the process, giving them water for their steam engines, and giving them the car because the horses he created were too slow for man. He helped man bring the black gold we know as crude oil from the seas to power their vehicles and machines. Today, the world pays for Poseidon's past aggressions and his further empowering of men. In the act of earning forgiveness, he's helped doom the world.
Just kidding, guys. I completely made that up. I hope you enjoyed it. See you tomorrow. Peace.